check out purposelyhere.com where you will find my self-published book. Purposelyhere.com also has exclusive merchandise for men, women, and kids. Purposelyhere.com is also available on your mobile devices. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to dive into a powerful topic such as modesty and self-respect. Specifically, why what you wear and how you carry yourself sets the tone for how you're treated. But before we get into the details of the video, make sure you all like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And do not forget to check out my website, purposelyhere.com, where you can find exclusive merchandise for the entire family, as well as both of my self-published books as well. All right, so let me be very upfront and clear. When I say modesty, I'm talking about clothes. How you dress does matter, but modesty isn't only about clothes. It's also about how you speak, how you carry yourself, and the energy you put out. It all works together to tell people who you are before you even say a word. Okay, so when we talk about modesty, the first thing people think of is clothing, and that is in fact correct. But because the way you dress sends a direct message about you, think about it. When you walk into a room, people see you before they hear you. Let's not forget, if your clothes are loud and revealing or sloppy, people will assume things about you, even if they are not true. On the other hand, when you dress appropriately, clean, put together, and respectful, you automatically command a different level of respect. And if I can, I want to drop even something that I stress to my children. Before you leave home, look in the mirror. How does your hair look? Telling the girls, how does your head scarf? How is it? Or their little netted bonnet thingies. How is it fixed on your head? Telling the boys, making sure their hair is neat. My kids have a really big thing with putting on collared shirts, and then they walk out and it looks like this, or, this part might be down and this. I'm like, just, look in the mirror. How do you look? Have you eaten something before you left home and you have food around your mouth? You have food in your teeth? Look at yourself. Carry yourself with a level of respect and dignity in what you wear, how you present yourself. Don't go out with ashy, crusty lips. I make sure I keep a container of Aquaphor always. And I make sure that they all have chapstick for their lips. They don't keep up with it, the younger ones, but hey, it is what it is. Have to keep replenishing the stock. Is because you always want to do that mirror check before you leave. And you know what? Things can get a little bit ruffled and out of place when you're gone. So do you have the necessary things with you to tighten yourself back up while you are out and about? So yes, the way that you look, the way that you're put together, it does command a certain level of respect from those that are around you, those that you do come in contact with. But oftentimes we think that when we reference modesty and the way that we are dressing, it means you have to have on, and for those that do choose this way of carrying themselves or dressing, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it because, the longer it is, the less someone can see. The looser it is, the less someone can see. However, modesty doesn't mean boring or unattractive. We have to understand that as well. You can still be stylish, beautiful, and confident while dressing with class. Class is not how less of skin you can show. Actually, that's more of a classless look, in my opinion. But the key is, does your outfit show that you respect yourself? Because if you don't, Others will not either. You cannot expect for the next person to show you any kind of respect when you first don't give it to yourself. If nobody else does, you should be respecting yourself. And when you do, others will follow suit more so than not. Now, modesty doesn't stop with what's on your body. It's also in how you carry yourself. So let's use this for example. Body language. Do you walk with confidence, but not arrogance? Do you speak with respect, or do you let everything fly with no filter? That is, I think, for me, one of the big ones too, as well, when it comes to modesty. The unfiltered, just spewing everything out. Now I understand you do want to be one to be able to freely speak how you feel. You don't want to, as the kids say, have somebody punking you. However, you still need to filter how things come out of your mouth and what comes out of your mouth. There is a way of saying everything without it going against or tampering with the modest appearance that you are trying to give off. So let's also be careful with what we say and how we say it as well. Modesty is always about humility. Understand that. It's not needing to show off everything. It's because it seems like every time we turn around, someone is half naked. Not too long ago, I had family to come and visit, my brother and my sister-in-law. And it was their anniversary of their wedding. And so they were about 30 minutes or so away from where I am on celebrating their wedding anniversary. And so when they were wrapping it up, they came to visit myself and the children and stayed a night with us. And however the conversation came about, now it's really funny when you hear this coming from a guy, because most of the time we think guys, they're slobs, they're dogs. They'll chase after anything with a tail. However, not all of them are like that. And I thought it was interesting when my brother was like, does anybody put clothes on around here? Not here at my home, but I'm just saying, where I live. Like, he was like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these girls half dressed. I wish they would put some clothes on. So everything does not need to be shown off. Leave something for the imagination, okay? It's not needed. It's not needed. Don't show everything off. So whether it's your body, your attitude, or even your accomplishments, it's about being comfortable enough with yourself that you don't have to overexpose yourself in order to feel valued. Because the show off is only for other people to see, for then in turn for them to be like to you, you do not need that. You don't need it. The overexposure, it is damaging to you and your reputation, excuse me. So remember, modesty is about humility. Do you walk in humility? Do you walk in the modesty that you should be as a woman? But here's the thing. How you dress and how you carry yourself set the standards for how other people will treat you. If you want respect, you've got to show respect to who? To yourself first. If you present yourself like you're priceless, and many women do, they just flaunt it like the old saying goes, it's a piece of meat. When you should be representing yourself as if it's priceless. We could never put a tag or a value on your modesty and how you carry yourself. But people will treat you like you're priceless if that's what you give them. Typically, what you give people is what they give back to you. So Just remember that. If somebody's treating you a certain kind of way, you probably should say, what am I putting out there? What am I giving them? What reasoning? Now, I understand, some people they're just evil. That's just who they are. They're going to be who they are. They're going to treat people like crap. And a lot of times it just has something to do with themselves and things that they have going on. Not an excuse, but they have to work out their own demons and be able to treat other people with more respect. However, do understand what you put out a lot of the times is what you get back. But again, if you represent yourself like you don't value yourself, people, unfortunately, they will follow the lead that you set. You show them how to treat you. I always tell my kids that too. You teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to deal with you. And that is all based upon who you are. Remember that. So when you dress modestly, and carry yourself with self-respect, you're teaching people, what did I say? How to approach and treat you. You're saying without words, I know my worth. I know who I am. I know how I deserve to be treated. And you're going to treat me accordingly. But keeping in mind, they are treating you based upon what you show them. Some people you will have to pull them up at the collar. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? That ain't me. Don't play me. Don't try me. Don't test me. That right there alone, it might snap the person back in shape real fast. You might have to check them a few times because they're testing their boundaries. They're testing to see how much they can push before you give up, before you don't push back. But yeah, people treat you accordingly. Just know that. Think about it this way. If you're going to a job interview, you wouldn't show up in sweatpants or something revealing. At least I hope that you wouldn't. I hope that you would check the dress code before, you went to the interview. But you would dress for respect. Same goes for, everyday life. You want to dress like it's an interview always. You know what I'm saying? You want to always show respect for yourself through the way that you are dressing. If you're in school, at work, or even just out running errands, how you present yourself sets the tone for how people engage with you. I cannot stress that enough. The effort you put into dressing appropriately and carrying yourself well can literally open doors for you. However, it can also close them as well. So there's two sides to that coin. Like the running errands part, just quickly address it. I have to often get on my 14-year-old because when she's at home, super comfortable. PJs or sweatpants. She has her hair tied up with her rag and then, her silk bonnet over it. And then I'm like, well, I'm about to go do such and such, run an errand real quick. Oh, can I go? I don't care. Come on, let's go. And without thinking, instantly she's running out the door because it's a rush. Sometimes it's not. And we'll get to the door or we'll get outside and I'll be like, we not about to do this. Please take that thing off your head. Go back inside. Get you a scarf. Tie it up cute and, whatever else. But please don't with me with the bonnet. It's just, we always want to make sure as much as we can that we are carrying ourselves, with a certain look as often as we can. So just to wrap this up a little, modesty isn't about hiding yourself. It's about valuing yourself enough to present yourself with dignity. Yes, it starts with your clothing, but it also shines through your attitude, your words, and your presence. Ask yourself every day, does the way I'm dressed and the way I carry myself reflect the respect I have for myself? Because when you show self-respect, the world indeed takes notice. Again, remember I said there's two sides to the coin. Because when you don't, the world also notices that as well. But I do want to thank you all for hanging out with me again. If you could, make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments. What does modesty and self-respect mean to you? And don't forget again to like, share, and subscribe for more conversation like this. All right, y'all. Peace.